The British Secret Service is on its prime mission to save the Queen, for which they require Léon Blum high school teachers. So they kidnap all the teachers regardless of their wishes or the situation they are in. The history teacher, Polochon, is on vacation appreciating the ground of the Battle of Austerlitz when he is nabbed by the British Army and made to wear a harness before he's airlifted into a helicopter carrying his colleagues. Soon the head of British security addresses them and tells them they are on a very secret mission regarding the Queen's niece, Vivienne Hamilton, the heir to the British crown. Queen Elizabeth II joins in through a video conference and directly addresses the French teachers, appreciating that the teachers saved the worst high school in France. She wants them to teach in the best college in England, which happens to be the college Vivienne goes to. They have 1 year to transform the princess into an exemplary student, adding a hefty reward if they succeed. The teachers, however, are not keen to participate till the king of the dunces, Bullard, accompanies them. So the British Army finds Bullard and takes him to England's finest college, Austerlitz. Bullard thinks he is in a Harry Potter castle and is welcomed by 3 eccentric students who bully him without him realizing it. During assembly, everybody's eyes turn to see a very attractive woman, Amina, who arrives in a very sultry dress. She is last to arrive because of a mix-up by the British Army, who had kidnapped her mom instead of her. The principal then announces the changes in the school, starting with announcing the new group of teachers who will be handling their classes, and they would adopt French as their school's official language for a year. After the students are ordered to go to their class, the teachers meet Vivienne for the first time and are flabbergasted to see the most unfeminine rebel who lives in her own world and plays air drums. The classes commence the following day, and it is proving to be a tedious task for the French teachers because the students don't cooperate. The disciplinarian, Edward, has a keen eye on Bullard and is determined to make him follow the rules just like other students, even if it requires smacking him multiple times before throwing him in the dungeon for not paying proper respect to the school's sacred statue. The teachers who were considered to be the best are turning out to be struggling at their respective subjects, causing confusion, lab accidents, and using chalk cannons to shoot the students for asking the basic questions. But the principal still believes it is the French way of teaching and doesn't question their methods. Amidst all these changes, Vivienne is least bothered as she doesn't care about anything happening around her. Bullard time and again reminds teachers that even though Vivienne is also late to every class as he is, the punishment is only inflicted upon him. During the PE class, Eric, the PE teacher, asks the class to form pairs, out of which one of them will become a horse while the other will ride them, and play polo. As if this was not enough, Eric starts treating the students who opted to become horses like real horses, feeding them sugar cubes and filing their shoes. As one would have predicted, the class was a disaster, and most of the students ended up getting hurt. For some reason, Polochon is always hiding from Edward and comes to his next class in peace, holding a white flag that he had made using a vest. His confidence and sense of balance leave him when he needs them the most, and he further gets insulted and roasted by the English students for his blind love for Napoleon, which makes him scream like a girl and jump out the window. Miss Johns soon gets a call from the royal palace and gets a warning from the authorities that if Vivienne doesn't pass the exams, trouble awaits her. Meanwhile, Vivienne continues to be a recluse, but Bullard's interest in her grows, and he tries to talk to her whenever he gets the chance. He would sit beside her in every class and even follow her to the isolated places in the school, but Vivienne only answers him in monosyllables. During recess, Edward finds Bullard smoking, and he is again thrown in the dungeon, where Bullard passes the time talking to the skeleton wearing the same uniform as his. The next day, school starts with English class, and every student is trying to concentrate very hard on the lecture rather than on Amina's alluring dress and posture. But the class ends with none of her moves working and Amina's bruised ego after the students give a better interpretation of the poem they're reading. As time passes, Bullard manages to talk more to Vivienne, and they even strike up a friendship. The overly disciplined environment made them find company in each other because both of them hate being restricted and are rebels at heart. It is Sunday morning and the entire school is made to get up early and take in a church for an 8-hour Gregorian chant. Boulard again gets in trouble with Edward for not wearing his school uniform and is sent back to change. Boulard sees Vivienne walking away from the group and follows her onto the bus that she boards to London. Once they reach the city, Vivienne makes her way into a dark alley and climbs some pipes and stairs to reach a shabby-looking theater where she has the time of her life, finally being herself and doing whatever she wants to without worrying about the image she has to maintain in front of others. Unbeknownst to her, Boulard follows her and sees her raw persona along with her notebook, which gives a glimpse into her creative mind. Once she's done, Vivienne packs her things and goes into a punk bar, and Boulard follows, but he's surprised when Vivienne greets him. She had actually seen him earlier. Together, they dance and enjoy each other's company. After clubbing, they travel back, and while walking back through the school gates, Vivienne discloses she is interested in rock opera. However, she has writer's block and can't seem to finish her latest song, and Boulard promises to help her complete the piece. Soon, the midterm examinations are approaching, and Miss Johns has made it very clear that she wants Vivienne's result to be good, or else nobody can save them from the wrath of the royal officials. But no matter what the teachers try, Vivienne is still not interested in studying, and even goes missing for a few days. The French teachers hold an emergency meeting in Amina's room to deal with the situation and decide to take Boulard's help in finding Vivienne, as they have seen the two talk very often. Initially, Boulard is hesitant, but when Polochon draws a gruesome picture of London streets filled with goons that could attack Vivienne at any time, Boulard gives in and tells them where they might find her. The French teachers take the entire class to the streets of London to conduct the class wherever they find her. They soon find Vivienne and try their best to make her a part of the class, but she ends up trying to flee every time. During her PE class, Boulard and Vivienne sit together to watch the entire class play rugby without a ball, and it turns into a hilarious act where each student participates enthusiastically. They run in circles, confused, and collide with each other, making Vivienne laugh and even show interest. But one of her classmates, Rowan, blames her for what they are going through and makes her leave. Eric gives Boulard permission to tackle the classmate for opening his mouth and hurting his friend. The next class is History by Polochon, who dresses as Napoleon and makes the students play the soldiers injured after the war. They walk on a frozen water pool amidst a blizzard. Finally, Vivienne gives in and agrees to be a part of this unique method of teaching. She plays Russia and attacks her classmates with snowballs, and everybody except Rowan enjoy themselves. Back at school, Edward informs Miss Johns of the disappearance of all the teachers and students, including Vivienne. And to add to their woes, she gets a letter from the Secret Service reminding them of an upcoming inauguration ceremony and a picture of her pet cat being kidnapped. Soon, the parents find out about their children missing from the school and come to meet the principal. Miss Johns calls the teachers and asks them to bring the students back to the school, but the teachers are not done yet, and in their class with Coutureau, the students get to enjoy beer, while Vivienne shows her interest in Coutureau's math lesson he gives using an everyday life reference while enjoying the ride on the London Eye. After a fun day, Vivienne finds Boulard getting an explicit tattoo on his back and asks him if she should finish her degree or concentrate on rock opera. Boulard suggests she finish her degree while he'll finish the song for her. Vivienne knows what that would entail and tells Boulard that they will not meet again after she graduates and tells him the truth about being Queen Elizabeth II's niece. But Boulard thinks she is joking and laughs it off. The teachers are finally back at school, and surprisingly, so is Vivienne, and with a different personality. The unique approach of the teachers made Vivienne shed her rebellious phase and start taking an interest in her studies. And not just Vivienne, but the other students start taking an interest in other activities and enjoying their college life, which was no longer like before when there were stringent rules that students were made to follow. Edward cannot take this anymore and rushes to Miss Johns to call the police, but she brings his attention to the positive changes that the French method brought in Vivienne and refuses to interfere. During the preparation for graduation day, Boulard goes to see Miss Johns with her boxwood uprooted and gives it to her as a token of appreciation for a wonderful year. However, Miss Johns is particularly rude to him as she expels him and discloses the truth about Vivienne, that she is royalty and he has no chance of continuing their friendship. Hurt, Boulard kicks the gazebo and walks away. When Polochon sees Boulard walk away upset, he tells the other teachers that Boulard must be upset about not graduating as his scores are not that good, and to encourage him, all the teachers talk to him. But Boulard is upset as they don't quite understand him. He is upset because the teachers lied to him and they didn't come for him or Vivienne, who didn't ask for any of this. He is also upset that they used him and played with the feelings he had developed for Vivienne, who never wanted to be trapped in the four walls of the palace, but now she will be after she graduates. As they stand there, Boulard boards a train and leaves the college. Since he's not invited to the graduation, there is no use staying there. To stop Boulard from leaving, Eric and the teachers run behind the bus, and when Boulard asks the bus driver to stop the bus, the sudden brakes lead to Eric slamming on the bus. Boulard is still upset and yells at the teachers because he lost Vivienne and slams her book on the road. Suddenly, the bus starts moving and takes Boulard's backpack along. Polochon assures Boulard that they have 4 hours and 27 minutes until the diplomas are handed. They all return to the convocation, and surprisingly, Queen Elizabeth II joins them to see her niece graduate. Vivienne accompanies her as the students and the teachers stand in respect. Miss Johns informs the Queen how her niece's performance has improved tenfold before handing her Vivienne's diploma. The Queen announces once the diploma is handed to Vivienne, she will gain the title of the Princess of the United Kingdom. All of a sudden, Boulard, disguised as one of the musicians, interrupts, but the guards stop him. Queen Elizabeth gives him a chance to speak and asks her guards to leave him. Boulard starts singing Vivienne's song that he completed for her, and the school breaks into a well-coordinated dance sequence. Queen Elizabeth forces the diploma into Vivienne's hands and shoves her in front of the mic. Vivienne takes this opportunity to continue her speech in a lyrical manner and proceeds to tear her diploma into pieces, and so do all the students. Vivienne and Boulard share their first kiss as everybody cheers on. Later, all the teachers are invited to the palace where Queen Elizabeth II addresses them, thanking them for saving the kingdom from a disaster, as Vivienne would have been a terrible queen. She then ennobles them as the Knights of the United Kingdom for eternity. After being bestowed the title, the teachers gather to take a selfie with the Queen. And that's a wrap for this movie recap. Thanks for watching.